Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
We are the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Declan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes like serial killers and the random one-off murder. We will tell you about bizarre occurrences like alien abductions and monsters in the dark. And we just might get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories.
At the very end of every show, we like to lighten things up and cleanse the palate from the tragic and terrifying stories. So we end our time with a chaser. You might get to hear crazy stories about our pets or just silly movie recommendations.
Give us a listen. We are the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast.
Most of us are one good deal away from finally replacing that worn-out rug, fixing up the backyard, or getting the bedroom we actually want. Good news, that deal's almost here. Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey everybody, Lady Luck here, and we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. Now, all summer long, I'm going to be celebrating by playing on SpinQuest.com, which is an American-owned social casino. It obviously features over 1,000 slot games and live blackjack, live craps, live bubble craps. Head on over to SpinQuest.com. Get yourself a $30 coin pack for just $10.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
Fuel your hustle with protein-packed, flavor-stacked Roller Bites. These compact handheld snacks deliver bold taste and real protein, so you can stay full, focused, and moving. No mess, no slowdown. Big flavor, clean fuel, and the kind of bite that just works. From long days to late nights, Roller Bites are ready when you need them in flavors like Tequila Lime, Monterey Jack, and Buffalo Ranch. Grab them in your nearest convenience store or catch them on tour. Visit rollerbites.com for dates, locations, and more.
Hello and welcome to Rowan Pine. This is a really cool occasion for those of you who hate the yapping and the tangents because we are getting straight into the folklore. This is part 2 of our Damsels in Distress deep dive that we did with Fairy Tale Fix. Fairy Tale Fix is an amazing podcast hosted by Abbie and Kelsey where they have literally discussed any fairy or folktale you can possibly think of and they somehow keep finding more. They apply a little fix to the end of each folktale or fairy tale where it's usually that the female character has a little bit more agency, somebody gets punched in the face who deserves it, somebody becomes a witch's apprentice, it's a bit more gay, you know, you get the drift, all that stuff that we would like to see in our media growing up and for our daughters especially growing up in these times. If you have not yet listened to part 1, it drops the week before this episode is dropping, so I didn't make you wait, you can't be mad at me, I'm your fairy godmother. But be sure to go back and listen to that where you'll hear the tale of Deirdre of the Sorrows, an amazing Irish myth with a heroine that I think we could all be friends with. She's really cool. And Abbie and Kelsey really connected with her as well. After you've listened to that, if you haven't already, join us back here and we will get right into Parsley. If you know, you know. Okay. So Deirdre does in certain ways fit the damsel in distress pattern. She is controlled from birth. She's kept in captivity. Men fight over her rather than with her. She is physically protected but politically powerless. Her warnings are ignored, like when she tried to warn Nisha. Mm-hmm. She becomes a prize to be claimed, and her final escape is death in these darker versions of the tales. This is mythology, so it's way, way back before the written word. Over time, damsels migrated out of mythology and into medieval legends and fairy tales. These girls are not so much pawns of the gods and warriors like classical myth, but they are usually marrying royalty and being generally mistreated by men and society. So we have Guinevere, In Arthurian legend, Guinevere, the wife of King Arthur, is often depicted as a damsel in distress, particularly in tales involving her abduction or romantic entanglements with other knights. The fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty features a princess who falls into a deep sleep after pricking her finger on a spindle. She remains in this state until she is awakened by the kiss of a prince, who rescues her from the spell. And another classic fairy tale, Cinderella, you could say it's also a damsel in distress because it tells the story of a young woman mistreated by her stepfamily, and she finds salvation through the help of a fairy godmother and the love of a prince. And that's what elevates her out of her abusive and rotten situation. But the ultimate damsel locked in a tower is, of course, Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kelsey and Abbie have an episode on Rapunzel. It is absolutely fantastic. So please go check it out.
Oh, thanks.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to examine an older version of the tale that is based in Italy. But before we do that, can we get a fairy tale fix recap of the Grimm version?
Yes. So we covered Rapunzel last fall in episode 111. Okay, so a married couple gets pregnant and the mother has serious pregnancy cravings. And she's craving Rapunzel, which is lettuce, and it sits in the fairy neighbor's garden. The husband, like very scared of his wife's pregnancy cravings, steals the lettuce, gets caught, and the fairy, instead of a witch, in a lot of tales you hear it's like a witch, and the like original fairy tales of the Grimm's brothers by Jack Zipes, it's a fairy, and she makes him promise to give up their child. So what's scarier, your pregnant wife or the fairy next door? Eventually, I think she's a little bit older when she actually goes to the fairy. I can't quite remember how old she is. But she goes to live in the tower with the fairy, and she grows her hair very, very long. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, etc. A prince hears her singing in the tower, sees her, and falls in love. Because what's better than a hottie with a great singing voice? He calls out to her and climbs up the tower. They fall in love and start their secret affair. It's very sexy. It's a very sexy story.
It's surprisingly, yeah, surprisingly so.
It's cute. Like
that involves so much manual labor and climbing. You know, it's very sexy.
Oh my gosh, he's really trying. He's making
such an effort.
He's had great arms.
Oh yeah, extreme upper body strength. Rapunzel, being the sweet baby angel that she is, accidentally outs her affair to her fairy mom, Mother Gothel, which is actually her name in the Grimm story, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
By asking her why her clothes don't fit anymore. Because she's pregnant. Fairy mom cuts off her hair, kicks her pregnant stolen daughter out to the desert, and tricks the prince. He climbs up the hair that she cut off, blinds him. The blind prince,
because he falls onto some thorn bushes below the tower.
That's gory.
And the blind prince walks around weeping for years until he eventually just randomly runs across Rapunzel in the desert with their twins who are living a wretched life. And Rapunzel's tears bring back his eyesight. The end. So it's kind of an abrupt ending. To the tale.
And there's so much like wasted time of them wandering around, her in the desert and him in the
years
forest.
And years of
years later.
How was he? Was he like eating like berries or something? Like how are you surviving blind in the forest, dude? Like wow. And also, where's his family?
All excellent questions.
So many questions.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right.
He's a prince. Wouldn't they be looking for him?
It's like he's heir to the throne, but like, we haven't seen him in about 5 years.
Maybe he's one of those spares, you know?
Maybe. Maybe he's like a third prince.
He's the seventh son or something. And he's
not next in line, that's for sure.
Okay. So thank you so much for the fairy tale fix rundown of Rapunzel. What is interesting is that there are earlier versions of Rapunzel. There is a French version, and then before that there was a Neapolitan Italian version, and that is the version that I'm going to be telling today. And in my opinion, the Italian version has the most agency for our female protagonist, which is interesting because she lost it as the stories got told. This is the story of Petrocinella. Petrocinella is the upper southern Italian word for parsley. So she's not lettuce.
But she is a garden vegetable.
And herb.
She is.
Mhm.
That's very important that she is a garden vegetable because pregnancy cravings are for garden vegetables for some reason. This version of the story was told by Giambattista Basile and translated by John Edward Taylor.
Love it.
So any mistakes are John Edward Taylor's. I take no responsibility.
As you shouldn't.
There was once upon a time a woman named Pascadozia who was in the family way. And as she was standing one day at a window which looked into the garden of an ogress.
Amazing. Alteration.
I love an ogress versus a witch or
Also,
fairy.
names for everybody. Mom's got a name.
Yes. Mhm.
Parsley's got a name. I'm sure this ogress has a name.
It's just so funny because parsley is what you call a rabbit, you know? Like,
exactly.
Good for parsley.
Good for parsley.
She saw a beautiful bed of parsley for which she took such a longing that she was on the point of fainting away. And being unable to resist her desire, she watched until the ogress went out and then plucked a handful of it.
And she don't need no man. She'll snatch it herself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, I'm going to go get them myself.
She's stealing it herself. But when the ogress came home and was going to cook her pottage, she found that someone had been at the parsley and said,
"Ill luck to me, but I'll catch this long-fingered rogue and make him repent it. Teach him to his cost that everyone should eat off his own platter and not meddle with other folks' cups."
Okay, then.
So this ogress is very dramatic. And I love that she instantly thinks it must be a man stealing her parsley.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The poor woman went again and again down into the garden until one morning the ogress met her and in a furious rage exclaimed,
"Have I caught you at last, you thief, you rogue? Prithee, do you pay the rent of the garden that you come in this impudent way and steal my plants? By my faith, I'll make you do a penance without sending you to Rome."
Okay, this is a very Catholic ogress.
It is very Catholic, yeah. She's done her communion, her confirmation. She goes to confession.
She will send you to Rome to face justice.
She will send you to Rome.
Yeah.
I love that in Italy that's actually a threat.
Yeah.
Like, we will send you to Rome. It's in this country. You can go see the Pope.
It's right over there.
Poor Pascadozia, in a terrible fright, began to make excuses, saying that neither from gluttony nor the craving of hunger had she been tempted by the devil to commit this fault, but from her being pregnant and the fear she had lest the child be born with a crop of parsley on its face.
Well, and also, I'm scared the child will be born growing parsley out of its face. So, therefore, I stole your parsley and ate it.
It's very much fairy tale logic.
Yeah, I wonder if we're missing something there.
Yeah.
Well, there is a little bit on the end of this. She added that the ogress ought rather to thank her for not having given her sore eyes. So there was a note in this translation. It is the common belief in Naples that if a person leaves any wish which a pregnant woman expresses ungratified, this disease of the eyes, which is agliarulo, is the punishment.
Okay.
So it's like a specific curse.
Cool.
But I'm not sure what that has to do with the baby's eyes. On its face.
I do know personally, if I found a pregnant woman in my yard stealing any of my vegetables today, I'd probably be like, what else can I get you?
Yeah.
Would you like some tea?
Absolutely.
Like, please sit down and I will get the vegetables for you.
You shouldn't be walking around. I will.
She must be
get a
desperate.
basket for you.
Yeah, sit down. You can have as much parsley as you want, Mom.
And then I think you guys brought this up in your Rapunzel episode. How much do you have to be eating to satisfy a craving when you're pregnant? Because like salad vegetables are just not really satiating, are they?
No, but it's all she wants. So yeah, like like
lettuce day and night.
Unless she's putting it in things. Is she making like parsley tea and milkshakes
loading
and
her various soups,
putting it on pizza or something?
Lots and lots of parsley.
I do love lettuce. I love the crunch. I like to add lettuce to like a lot of stuff that I eat, even like hot things.
Yeah.
Like it just gives it a nice fresh crunch, you know?
Absolutely. I'm with you there.
But I think pregnancy cravings don't really make any sense from what I gather. Sometimes people do like peanut butter and mustard together, like just the weirdest things you wouldn't normally eat.
Yeah.
So
And it's like a compulsion. So it's, you know, It's just
You'll
what
have to
everybody's
ask
telling
Emily.
you. Yeah.
Has Emily ever given any of her like strongest pregnancy cravings?
She hasn't, but she did say the one thing that annoyed her was when people would ask her. Obviously, it's people like making conversation, but she would be like literally like 8.5 months pregnant. And people were like, any cravings? And she's like, months ago. Like, I'm about to pop. I'm not like at that point.
Everything's pretty much settled into itself at this point. Like,
yeah.
Words are but wind, answered the ogress. I am not to be caught with such prattle. You have closed the balance sheet of life unless you promise to give me the child you bring forth, girl or boy, whichever it may be.
Why is that the first thing they jump to? Give me your baby.
I know. Give me your kid. That's very dramatic. You took some parsley, not even all of it. Now you have to give me your kid.
It's like, I could bake you a cake and say sorry. No, give me your child. Give me your to be born.
I know with ogres, I don't know how it is in Italian folktales, but there was the ogre in Sleeping Beauty. One of the older tales of Sleeping Beauty, the prince's mother is an ogress, and he's very scared that she's gonna like eat their
maybe
kids.
it's swapping food for food. You stole some of my food.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
I don't know if that's what's going on here, but maybe.
Maybe. Poor Pascadosia, in order to escape the peril in which she found herself, swore with one hand upon another to keep the promise, so the ogress let her go free. But when her time came, Pascadosia gave birth to a little girl, so beautiful that she was a joy to look upon, who, from having a fine sprig of parsley on her bosom, was named Petronella. And the little girl grew from day to day until when she was 7 years old, her mother sent her to school. And every time she went along the street and met the ogress, the old woman said to her,
Tell your mother to remember her promise.
And she went on repeating this message so often that the poor mother, having no longer patience to listen to the music, said one day to Petronella, if you meet the old woman as usual and she reminds you of the hateful promise, answer her, take it.
What?
That seems like bad advice.
That's terrible. You're not even going to prepare her?
She's like,
fucking do it then.
She's going to keep threatening us. Tell her to like, go ahead.
Gosh, I am so bored with you coming after my daughter. Ugh, Parsley won't shut up about it. So fine. How old is Parsley here? Maybe it's an extra annoying age.
She is 7.
She's 7.
That can be pretty annoying, probably.
They're yapping a lot by that point. So maybe she's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Tell
fine.
her take it.
Oh my gosh. When Petronella, who dreamt of no ill, met the ogress again and heard her repeat the same words, she answered innocently as her mother had told her. Whereupon the ogress, seizing her by her hair, carried her off to a wood.
Poor
Parsley. Which the horses of the sun never entered, not having paid the toll to the pastures of those shades. This is very flowery in this translation.
I want
Horses
more
of
of that background on that, because that sounds like an interesting story.
Isn't it? Never having paid toll to the pastures of those shades. It's just absolutely poetic. When she put the poor girl into a tower, which she caused to arise by her art, and which had neither gate nor ladder, but only a little window, through which she ascended and descended by means of Petronella's hair, which was very long, as the sailor is used to run up and down the mast of a ship.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have the hair being introduced. Now it happened one day, when the ogress had left the tower, that Petronella put her head out of the little window and let loose her tresses in the sun. And the son of a prince passing by saw those 2 golden banners, which invited all souls to enlist under the standard of love, and beholding with amazement in the midst of those gleaming waves a siren's face, that enchanted all hearts. He fell desperately in love with such a wonderful beauty, and sending her a memorial of sighs, she decreed to receive him into favour. Very roundabout way is he's like, wow, she is so hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she's like, wow, you're the only man I've ever seen in my whole life.
I looked out the window one day and I saw you.
Love.
And that was it. Matters went on so well with the prince that there was soon a nodding of heads and a kissing of hands and a winking of eyes and bowing.
Aww.
Thanks and offerings, hopes and promises, soft words and compliments.
This is very sweet.
Aww.
Sweet. They actually do get to know each other.
Young love.
Mm-hmm. And when this had continued for several days, Petronella and the prince became so intimate that they made an appointment to meet and agreed that it should be at night when the moon plays at hide and seek. Mm-hmm.
It's very sexy.
See, it's sexy. It's still sexy.
Not the only thing playing hide and seek.
Perfect. When the moon plays at hide and seek with the stars, and that Petronella should give the ogress some poppy juice.
Oh my god.
So we're into drugging.
Uh-huh.
And draw up the prince with her tresses. So when the appointed hour came, the prince went to the tower where Petronella, letting her hair fall at a given signal, seized it with both his hands and cried, "Draw up!" And when he was drawn up, he crept through the little window into the chamber. The next morning, before the sun taught his steeds to leap through the hoop of the zodiac, the prince descended by the same golden ladder to go his way home. And having repeated these visits many times, a gossip of the ogress, this is, if there's an MVP, this is the opposite of that. A gossip of the ogress who was forever prying into things that did not concern her and poking her nose into every corner, got to find out the secret and told the ogress to be on the lookout for that Petronella made love with a certain youth and she suspected that matters would go further, adding that she saw what was going on and feared they would be off and away before May. This busybody?
Yeah.
What a snitch.
Like, it doesn't concern you.
Mind your own business, people.
And also, how many people knew that this ogress had a woman in the tower? It's like, you're seeing this man sneaking into your captive. Like, how many people know this?
Whose side are you
We need
on?
a trusted
The
adult.
ogress, I guess.
Yeah.
An open secret, I suppose.
Absolutely
It's like
terrible.
people
Where's child
minding their
services?
business when they shouldn't, and then not minding it at all when they should.
Absolutely. The ogress thanked her gossip for the information and said she would take good care to stop up the road. And as to Petronella, it was moreover impossible for her to escape, as she had laid a spell upon her, so that unless she had in her hand the 3 gallnuts, which were in a rafter in the kitchen, it would be a labour lost to attempt to get away. So I had to look up what the hell a gallnut was.
What is it?
You guys may have encountered it before. So a gallnut or a nutgall is a hard nut-like growth that forms on oak trees as a natural defense when parasitic wasps deposit their eggs on twigs. Very specific.
I didn't know that
item
there was
here.
a word.
It is one of the richest natural resources of tannic acid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like it's used in like textile dyeing, apparently. So obviously very relevant to this time, but yeah, it's sort of lost on
Absolutely.
modern audiences.
I kind of know what you mean. I have seen oak trees and noticed they are very knobbly, but I didn't realize that there was a specific word for those growths. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they're formed from. So these were in the rafters of Parsley's tower. So obviously she knew that they were there and she had been making a little note of them. Whilst they were talking thus together, Petronella, who stood with her ears wide open and had some suspicion of the gossip, overheard all the past. So she was earwigging the whole time. She knew that this busybody had ratted her
Good.
out.
Okay, cool. Love it.
And when night had spread out her black garments to keep them from the moth, and the prince had come as usual, she made him climb onto the rafters and find the gallnuts, knowing well what effect they would have, as she had been enchanted by the ogress. Then, having made a rope ladder, they both descended to the ground, took to their heels, and scampered off towards the city. I like that she's keeping her hair.
Absolutely. That's so cool.
Yeah. But the gossip, happening to see them come out, set up a loud hello and began to shout and make such a noise that the ogress awoke. You bitch.
Mind your business.
Oh my god, it's like the worst neighbor ever. Like watching who's coming and going, telling people on you. And seeing that Petronella had fled, she descended by the same ladder, which was fastened to the window, and set off running after the lovers, who, when they saw her coming at their heels faster than a horse let loose, gave themselves up for lost. But Petronella, recollecting the gallnuts, quickly threw one on the ground, and lo, instantly a Corsican bulldog started up. Oh mother, such a terrible beast, which with open jaws and barking loud, flew at the ogress as if to swallow her at a mouthful. But the old woman, who was more cunning and spiteful than the devil, put her hand into her pocket and pulled out a piece of bread and gave it to the dog, which made him hang his tail and allay his fury.
Smart. Yeah, absolutely.
Clever.
That works on my dog too.
Mm-hmm.
Did your dog like bread? That was the thing. I was like, bread? Really? But I don't know.
No, he eats anything. He does like bread.
Dogs will eat anything.
My thought was this is Italian bread, so it's like better.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
anybody would
who
stop
doesn't
for that.
love? Yeah, I would stop for Italian bread. And but also like like my dog will eat. The old people in my neighborhood like to rip up just like white bread and just throw it out onto the street for the birds.
Mm-hmm.
And Obi loves gutter bread. He will have, if I'm not keeping an eye on him, he will happily eat bread right out of the gutter.
Oh, amazing.
It's not even nice Italian bread.
It's not even nice Italian bread. It is soggy, like,
God, that's the worst bread.
Cheap white bread from the grocery store.
Well, he likes it, and that's important.
Loves it. Yeah, that's what matters. Anyway, the bread thing would totally work.
Okay. One of my cats has developed a thing for broccoli.
Interesting.
So
I don't know what the hell it is.
Raw or steamed or
steamed. And like it's I don't know what it is because he just eats all of the little leafy bits off it and then just leaves the trunk part. And I'm just like, I don't think you should be having this, but like he eats like the tiniest amount and it's always he'll like get it out of the bin or whatever it is. And I'm just like,
oh wow. So he's determined and dedicated.
Oh my God, loves broccoli. Little weirdo.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then she turned to run after the fugitives again, but Petronella, seeing her approach, threw the second gallnut on the ground, and lo, a fierce lion arose, who, lashing the earth with his tail and shaking his mane, and opening his jaws a yard apart, was just preparing to make a slaughter of the ogress, when, turning quickly back, she stripped the skin off an ass that was grazing in the middle of a meadow.
Okay, sure.
Her unsuspecting ass.
Yeah.
Poor ass. Poor donkey.
Yeah, what did he do? And ran at the lion, who, fancying it a real jackass, was so frightened that he bounded away as fast as he could.
Oh my
Why
God.
would a lion be scared of a jackass?
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Maybe is it like the elephants and mice kind of thing?
Maybe in Italian, like Northern Italian culture, it's
Yeah.
lions.
I don't know. I'm so curious.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna look more into this later. You continue.
Okay.
But I just
Please
was
do.
making a note for myself.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Look that up.
The ogress, having leaped over this second ditch, turned again to pursue the poor lovers who, hearing the clatter of her heels and seeing the cloud of dust that rose up to the sky, conjectured that she was coming again. But the old woman, who was every moment in dread lest the lion should pursue her, had not taken off the ass's skin, and when Petronella threw down the third gallnut, there sprang up a wolf, who, without giving the ogress time to play any new trick, gobbled her up just as she was, in the shape of a jackass.
Oh, damn.
That's what you get!
That's what you get.
So, the lovers, being now freed from danger, went their way leisurely and quietly to the kingdom of the prince, where, with his father's free consent, he took Petronella to wife, and thus, after all these storms of fate, they experienced the truth that, 1 hour in port, the sailor freed from fears, forgets the tempests of 100 years. The end. So they got their
I love that for them.
Yeah.
Me too. I like that a
got to
lot
marry
better than the
him.
German version.
Hi everyone, Emily here.
And Neve over here. We're just popping in right before the ads to let you know that a rating, review, or recommendation is like a magic growth potion for your favourite podcast. As an indie podcast, we really do rely on word of mouth and people recommending us to each other to get on the right algorithms and right feeds. So if you're following us on social media, please take the time to throw us a little tag, show us what you're doing while you listen. We're nosy, we love that. Or if you don't want anything to do with that whole mess, just a rating or a review will do. The links to all of our socials are in the link tree, which is in the episode description. That includes our Patreon, which is where we upload everything early and ad-free, including some fun extras for paid tier members.
Go check it out, and fuck yeah, folklore.
Most of us are one good deal away from finally replacing that worn-out rug, fixing up the backyard, or getting the bedroom we actually want. Good news, that deal's almost here. Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You've always been the one people count on. Now it's time to invest in yourself. Post University offers flexible online nursing programs designed to support your next step. Because at Post, you're never just a number. Post people do not wait. They keep moving forward, one step at a time. You can start where you are and build what is next. Explore nursing programs at post.edu. Become a Post person.
Yeah. And it's a bit sexier, I think, than the German version, because
Definitely.
it seems to be that she is very much, she looks out the window and she sees him and she's like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. Whereas
hey, you up here.
Here's my hair. Whereas I feel like in the Grimm version, she's a little bit like freaked out when he first comes up.
Yeah.
It definitely
because
focuses more.
Because he pretends to be the fairy. He
yes, that's
tries
right.
to sound like her. Yeah.
She's like
Rapunzel. And she's like frightened at first, but then he woos her.
Yeah.
Still, like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Parsley's
you can
like,
talk to her from the tower.
Right.
Like,
you don't need to deceive her.
Yeah.
You can she can let you up when she knows who it is and feel safe. And yeah. No, this is cute. I love that they like plot together to run away.
Yeah. And that she is the one that defeats the ogress, like, because it's her cunning and her wit.
And
cool.
has the
She
idea
has a
to
plan.
use the gallstones or
gallnuts.
Yeah, gallnuts. Gallstones are a different thing.
Very different. Still very painful though.
Yeah, no, they suck, but
they suck. They don't turn into wolves.
And maybe they should.
Yeah, they'd be a lot cooler if they did.
Absolutely.
Oh, good lord. Yeah. So there's definitely a little bit more agency involved. With Parsley as opposed to Lettuce. So
and she has the name, the prince doesn't.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Which I love.
And there's no dad at all.
Great.
It's the mother and Petronella. So yeah, we kind of see that like as it's gone on, she loses a bit of that agency in each iteration. So the damsel in distress trope has sort of horseshoed a little. Helen of Troy, interestingly, the story we know is she was stolen away from her husband, the king of Sparta, and she's a classic damsel, but there are older versions that frame her as a femme fatale who decides to go and that she's seducing and all of that. And we do see an almost perfect illustration of this with the Rapunzel story. So Petronella chooses to be intimate with the prince. She overhears the plot to hurt them. She steals the gallnuts, drugs the ogress. Women's wrongs. She builds the rope ladder, leads the escape, and defeats the ogress with magic. She is the architect of her own freedom. Then in the subsequent French version, Personette, who I think is also Parsley, also actively participates in the romance. She's like all for it. She plans the escape with the prince as well. She uses magical items or knowledge given by it's a fairy in her version. Sometimes she escapes with the prince. She's not like dragged out of there by him. And she is punished, but not as brutally as Rapunzel and the prince, with the blinding and the desert wandering and all of that. And Personette is also reunited with the prince through her own movement, not passive waiting where he just finds her. So then, as you perfectly summarized before, Grimm's Rapunzel has removed or softened nearly all of the active elements. There's no magical knowledge. There's no overhearing of the plot. Is that right? She doesn't like...
Nope. I think doesn't the fairy just catch them together? And in a rage,
She
banishes
finds
Rapunzel?
out she's pregnant. And she kicks her out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the prince comes to visit her that night, and that's when she like has the hair that she cut off of Rapunzel.
Yes. Yes, and she pounces on him.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no magical escape, no chase like that, no cleverness or no decisive action. She just sort of waits, suffers, and she's rescued. Her only real power is her tears, which restores the prince's sight.
Mm-hmm.
So my question for you guys is, we see this with Rapunzel. Do you know of any other stories where they lose a little bit of agency as they're retold, or they're, you know, sort of whitewashed? Or my theory is Christian washed.
Oh yeah,
as they go.
Think a lot of that.
I think that's exactly the right direction to go with it. Maybe Kelsey has a better memory than I do. I don't think I have anything specific, like a specific example for this one. I do know that there are multiple versions of Cinderella in non-European cultures,
right?
That I've got saved on, that I have saved, that I keep meaning to read. Where I don't know, maybe she has more agency, maybe she doesn't. Like there's a East Asian versions in particular seem to feature a Cinderella type character with a little more agency in her own story. So I do think the Christianization of our stories, especially like kind of thinking about it as like Germany in particular, and like, you know, the Holy Roman Empire of it all, really may have made a huge difference. It's a great question. I kind of want to research it more. The only story that really comes to mind to answer your question is like, when we looked into Sleeping Beauty more, there are just so many older, darker versions of the story that actually take the entire second half of the story out.
Oh, wow.
Like, modern Sleeping Beauty ends with the prince kisses her and she wakes up and they live happily ever after. And then in the older versions, that's nowhere close to the end. There's still an entire second act.
That's the first half.
Yeah, that's the first half.
Yeah.
But Kelsey, I can't remember. Does she have a lot of agency in that second half?
I think she kind of does, because so as I mentioned earlier, in the second half of Sleeping Beauty, the prince has like a mother that he's like hiding his kids from because he doesn't. So he like stays in the castle with Sleeping Beauty, or Aurora or whatever her name is. Briar Rose. And he stays with her because he's scared that his mom is going to like eat his children. But eventually she finds out. And I think the prince ends up like going off to war, and it's kind of like the ogress and Briar Rose is trying to protect her kids.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think she does have more agency, but there's also older versions of Sleeping Beauty where she has less because she's sleeping through, you know, the prince. I mean, like trigger warning, she's sleeping through the prince literally raping her. And she actually wakes up not from a kiss, but because her children are suckling her, that she had while she was sleeping, are suckling her finger, and like the flaxseed comes out, and that's what was making her sleep.
Yeah,
that was a very terrible.
That was like
actually
an extremely dark version.
Yeah, it's
so dark.
Very dark,
and the oldest version of that story. So but that's also partially where I think the Christianization of it might come into play, because like a lot of like, because also like you did such a beautiful rundown of so many different damsels in distress in Greek myth earlier, and so many of those stories are also like deeply patriarchal and frightening, but the roots of them are to explain the world around us, or the things or the themes or the things that we see in the world. But like a lot of them are like really dark and really scary. And so I think that, you know, in a weird way, these stories become more sanitized and stripped down to sort of more of their bare bones plot points. But so we lose a lot of the terrors of these stories.
Definitely.
But we also lose a lot of the adventure of these stories and what the original point of the story may or may not have been.
Absolutely. Emily and I speak a lot about how a lot of these stories are, I mean, when you look at them, they're cautionary tales for women who act out of society. They act out of the roles that society has given to them. So I think when you take out some of the gory details and maybe some of the bad behavior of these characters, it really lessens the impact of, I mean, if you're trying to say, like, if this didn't have a happy ending and you're trying to say that, women shouldn't be entertaining men in their towers or whatever it is. I mean, if it's just that the two of them like just happen to meet each other and they're very shy and they share a little kiss, that completely dampens the whole effect of the story, because you're not like telling women that this is what happens to you if you have sex before marriage or whatever it is. So yeah, it's an interesting concept that in the sort of Christianization or making these stories more child friendly, you do lessen a lot of the lessons that they were intended to give people. Which is very, very interesting. Yeah.
Or change the lesson altogether, I think, in some of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, because as well, if you tack on a happy ending to these things, then where's the lesson, If the whole point is to be a cautionary tale, there's no caution. Because, I mean, with Deirdre, like, obviously, it's a bittersweet ending, but, like, it's not an amazing ending. But at the same time, it's sort of more realistic for what you would want one of these stories to be if they're trying to teach people things. Whereas the happily ever after isn't always that,
or even like trying to teach people things, but also just kind of also going back to these stories are stories that adults were telling other adults. So like when you kind of strip them down and make them tamer, or quote unquote more appropriate for children.
Yeah.
You strip a lot of what made them like this was fantasy stories for adults, as a way to entertain ourselves on long winter nights. And so a lot of like the stuff that's really meaty and interesting about them, like whether it's meant as a cautionary tale or not, gets just broken down and taken out at a certain point. Do you think maybe in the pursuit of turning it into a moral lesson?
Possibly, because I think if you're trying to, because not everything has to be a lesson. Some things are just entertainment, and it could be, depending on the people that are consuming these things, they could want a certain outcome based on their own biases or based on their own what they think, how they think women or children or mothers should act. So if you are trying to impose a lesson on a story that maybe was never really supposed to have one, I think that it could also be where it doesn't really land and it shouldn't land. But another interesting aspect, I think, of the whole child-friendly thing is we're seeing now, I don't know if you've watched The Ugly Stepsister, the horror film.
Oh my God, it was incredible.
So,
Abbie, you would hate it.
Kelsey told me it's not for Abby's, but she did.
It's not for Emily either. I was like, I love how we have to screen these things, being like, I'll let you know if you can watch this.
It was so good though. I did tell Abbie all about it because it was such an incredible story from the perspective of the stepsister, and I just felt so sad for her the whole time. And it was just like, oh, it was amazing. They did a great job.
They really did. And, they kept so many of the original elements in that just shows you when you are faithful to the original elements. These are horror movies. These are adult films, like not that kind of adult film, but these are films for an adult audience if you are faithful to the original source material.
Yes.
Which it's completely to Abby's point that these were originally stories for adults telling each other and the entertainment for them. And I don't know, it's just sort of interesting what we've lost over the years when they became children's stories. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to bring us home here. Bringing Rapunzel forward to Tangled. So there is, as I mentioned, the horseshoe of this trope. So she has a little agency, she loses it, and now we're going back to she has some again. It's part of the new Disney strategy to give princesses a little bit more depth and agency. We're seeing them more and more. They have thoughts, desires, opinions of their own, as they should. Yeah,
we love
and it's
to
so
see
important. It's so important to see that. Even with some of the remakes, they're giving them, like the live action remakes, are giving them more and more and more,
Finding a way to give them more of like a plot that doesn't fully revolve around someday my prince will come.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
I know, I love the live action Little Mermaid was like, that was the first Ariel character I think that made me really like her.
Yeah. In general, we have been seeing a huge rage against those traditional portrayals. In The Princess Bride, Princess Buttercup is repeatedly captured and rescued throughout the film, but she starts out passive and her adventures make her stronger. We love a character arc. Please give these women character arcs, for the love of God.
Yes.
A huge selling aspect of Buffy was turning the tiny blonde pretty girl into the warrior. And that is, I mean, isn't that like a whole plot? I don't know how familiar you are with Buffy, but it's like a whole plot point that like they have the Buffy bot. And, you know, they sort of set her as if like that she looks stupid and like she's the poor little innocent girl as bait. And then that's when the rest of them will pounce. And also, this is my first time recording since Anthony Head died. Rest in peace, Anthony Head. I'm so sorry he passed away. Buffy's Giles.
I've been rewatching my favorite Giles-centric episodes past couple days.
Oh, so good. My whole like social media feed has just been all of that. And I'm like, oh, I can't cry again. Our horror movie Final Girls are the last ones standing, blood-soaked and violent. We have a whole episode on Final Girls and trace them back through mythology. MJ is Peter Parker's intellectual equal now and in on the secret from earlier on, as is Lois Lane to Clark Kent. I also wanted to give a special mention to Shrek because Fiona is a blatant inversion of, of the damsel in distress trope. She
One
just
of the best.
Could not be better. Oh my gosh.
Love her.
And then the rise of romantasy and fantasy romance literature, they have a major commonality of showing female main characters who subvert the romantic stereotype and end up the most powerful characters in their stories without sacrificing their femininity. So I love that this is the further evolution, that like you don't have to act like a man, you don't have to do male things or like quote unquote male hobbies to be tough and to be taken seriously. A lot of these characters are still very feminine. They love their nice things and they like wearing dresses and they like going to balls. You know, it's important.
Yeah. But they're clever, resourceful leaders. It's great.
Absolutely. And one last question. Do you have an early memory of your first kick-ass female character? The first time that you remember seeing a character and going, wow, she's actually got a personality. She actually has something that she likes. If I could go first.
Please do.
Yeah.
I would just say, because I was trying to think, and for some reason, Kim Possible kept coming to my head.
Nice. Yes.
I love that she was the main character and that she was like, she had a team around her. But if I was to be more honest, I would say it is Jasmine from the original. Yeah. Because this whole, like, her line of, I am not a prize to be won, that was just...
Fuck yes.
She's... I mean, I think Jasmine does get a little bit of, like, a little bit of hate for being kind of passive or whatever it is, but I think she's important. She's important to give her flowers. Like, she's a kick-ass character.
Passive
She's
how?
badass.
She throws on, she's like, fuck this. She throws on a disguise and then she goes out into the city.
She plans to leave.
And she has a pet tiger.
Then,
come on.
Yeah.
I know. She's the coolest.
So cool.
She's such a badass.
Yeah. What about you guys?
As an elder millennial, Xena warrior princess all the way.
Yes.
I mean, my lady.
Absolutely.
Loved Xena growing up. It was the best.
I saw actually someone posting saying that they would love to see if they were ever to reboot Xena. Now it's probably sacrilege to ever do it. But Ilona Maher from the American rugby team, she would be, she's built like an Amazon princess. She is just, I know.
She's really
I wouldn't mind a
charming
reboot.
too.
Or even like a reboot that was like Xena's daughter. You know, like that kind of sequel.
And that it's explicitly queer from the beginning.
Please.
Instead of no queer baiting, no will they, won't they.
It could be Xena's baby with Gabrielle.
Yeah.
I'd be so
into that.
that.
Would be beautiful.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I would definitely watch one with Ilona Maher. I don't know if she can act, but I just like her as a person, so I'm there supporting it. And what about you, Abby?
Mine is a book character, and it's I don't know if you read any Tamara Pierce books as a kid.
No, I didn't. They were always on my periphery. Like some of my friends were huge into Tamara Pierce. Yeah.
Okay, well, I was a Tamara Pierce kid, and I was obsessed with her Alana series, her Song of the Lioness series, because that tells the story of a girl who, you know, she has a twin brother, and she's destined to go to finishing school and learn to become a lady within their sort of like medieval fantasy setting. And his destiny is to go to the capital and train to become a knight. And he wants to become a wizard, and she wants to become a knight. And it just so happens that the city the finishing school is in also has one of the best schools of magic. Nice. So they decide to swap places, and she dresses as a boy and goes to the capital and trains to become a knight. And then so it's like the first 2 books are her as a page and then a squire, and then the second 2 books are about her as the realm's only lady knight, and the way she paves the way for other women to follow her.
So it's like she's the man, but like way better.
way better.
Yeah.
Because I loved it as a kid too, seeing someone doing this, and even in the 90s having it be she's not like other girls. It was she's just like other girls, and she's going to make this happen so that other girls that want to do things differently can follow in her footsteps. And she's just like so cool, and she falls in love and like has sex with a bunch of hot guys in like an age appropriate way for like middle school children to learn about. But I don't know. I love it. Honestly, highly recommend to this day. Great books.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for both having such great answers. That's so good.
I love your answer too. I feel like the OG Disney princesses, like as much as like Disney is trying to improve their reputation around this, I feel like the OGs don't get the credit they deserve sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
especially because the context that Jasmine does exist in, like she's obviously, you know, she's basically just a possession of her father's until he decides. And, you know, that was just very, not that I related to it, but I just thought it just shows you that even if there are these barriers around you, that you should be able to break them down if you really want to, and if you want to try.
It's still your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have to acknowledge that sometimes these portrayals of like the girl power are a little bit hammy and obnoxious. The worst offender, I think, are some of the Marvel movie moments where I like it's just very ham-fisted, and it's just very, oh my gosh.
Are you thinking of like the scene in Endgame where like all of the ladies just like every single female character, of which there are only like 10.
Yes.
All
it's
pop into the
low.
same slide. And they're like, see, ladies?
Yeah.
Look, a feminism.
She's not on her own. # feminism. Yes. It is just very much, oh my God. And it is quite, like, I get the sentiment, and it's nice. It's nice that they tried, but there are better ways of doing it that are a little bit more subtle and believable.
Cringe.
Yeah. However, it is important to keep this energy going, especially in our current climate where there are serious efforts to get women to reject feminism and their own personal autonomy outside of heterosexual relationships. And if you want a whole episode on that, anybody listening, check out episode 50 because we ranted a lot.
It's a great episode. I listened to it yesterday and just really loved both your and Emily's insights.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we were nervous putting that one out because it wasn't as structured as we normally do. And we were like, let's just rant and let's just have like 1 or 2 things to talk about. And it seemed to work out okay. So we'll see. There may be more of those coming.
Cool. I'd like to hear them.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I was nodding my head a lot during that episode. Like,
Good. And then just the final thought on this whole thing is, if the worst a feminine power fantasy can do is be a little bit cringe, then I think we can live with that. Just keep the energy going, please. Keep showing your women with agency and opinions and autonomy, and Yeah, because the girls need it.
They do. We do.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we've been recording for so long. With all of our interruptions.
It's a rich topic.
It is.
A very rich topic.
But this has been fantastic. You guys have provided so much amazing, valuable insight. Like, I really appreciate it. It has been wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks
and
so much
likewise.
for having us on. We were so flattered when you asked. I was like, yes, of course.
Absolutely.
I
exciting.
really enjoyed just the insight and the research that you put into this topic as well. Like, you just brought up some really interesting points that I'm going to continue to noodle on for a little while. Like, this is really interesting and fun.
Yeah, we'll have to have you and Emily come on our podcast sometime. We would love that.
You'll have to tell us some of the sequels.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And Emily would love to come on. I was actually, because she's in that like era of she has to spend a lot of time sitting down, like breastfeeding or whatever it is. And I'm like sending her media to consume while she's doing it. So she's watched all of Shrinking. I don't know what she started now, but I sent her your podcast too, and I was like, I don't know if I've already like recommended it to it. I don't think she's got to you guys, but I was like, you will love this because she is a big fairy tale person. Like, she loves them too. So yes, we will definitely be on with you guys. Okay, and with that, how can people find you? How often do you release episodes? What's going on in the world of Fairy Tale Fix? Please update everyone before we let you go.
We release. So our podcast is Fairy Tale Fix. You can find it at fairytalefixpod.com or, wherever you get your podcasts. We kind of only do Instagram, social media wise right now. It's at Fairy Tale Fix Pod. And we release episodes. I saw this on Pocket Casts fortnightly.
Yes.
Or every 2 weeks or so. We're a little behind right now. It's just me and Abby. We don't have.
It's so hard when you have no outside help. Yeah. Oh, I feel you.
Yes.
I feel you.
So we're a little behind.
Come out a little late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So sometimes we'll skip a week, which might be happening soon. But yeah, generally every other Tuesday.
Amazing. I am looking forward to seeing whatever you guys have coming up next, because it's always a good time. Even if it's something that I have heard 1,000 times before, I still want to hear your take on it, that's such a good sign of a podcast. You're just like, I want to know what they're going to say about this.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. It's the nicest thing.
This has been episode 52. Thank you for joining me, Abby, and Kelsey. My name is Neve, and fuck yeah, folklore.
Fuck yeah, folklore.
Fuck yeah, folklore.
Goodbye.
Most of us are one good deal away from finally replacing that worn-out rug, fixing up the backyard, or getting the bedroom we actually want. Good news, that deal's almost here. Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey everybody, Lady Luck here, and we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. Now, all summer long, I'm going to be celebrating by playing on SpinQuest.com, which is an American-owned social casino. It obviously features over 1,000 slot games and live blackjack, live craps, live bubble craps. Head on over to SpinQuest.com. Get yourself a $30 coin pack for just $10.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
Here's a tip for you. There's a podcast out there with fans waiting to be your next customer. They tune in every week, they trust the host, and that host wants to talk about brands like yours in their own words to their audience. The problem is, you just haven't been introduced yet. We're Acast, where that introduction happens. As the world's largest podcast marketplace, we let you browse shows, see who's listening, and book host-read sponsorships or run your own ads, all from one platform. Transparent pricing, real-time data, complete control. Start advertising on podcasts by visiting acast.com/advertise.